Bruce, you must have something really good too.
Of course I do. It's Bruce Danielson, and I guess I'm here to entertain you too.
Good evening, and welcome to the Carnegie Town Hall. This meeting of the City Planning Commission will begin after a few introductory remarks. The City of Sioux Falls Planning Commission serves as an advisory board to the City Council. It is the responsibility of the Planning Commission to consider and make recommendations on land use and zoning matters. Actions taken tonight on conditional use permits are final unless appealed to the City of Sioux Falls City Council in writing within 5 days. And any actions taken tonight on initial development plans or alternative plans are final. Any recommendations made on preliminary subdivision plan requests tonight will be referred to the City Council for final action at the third council meeting of this month, or at the first council meeting of next month if associated with a rezoning. Any recommendations made on rezoning requests, future land use amendments, or ordinance amendments tonight will be referred to the City Council for final action at the first City Council meeting of next month. Council meetings are held at 6 p.m. here in the Carnegie Town Hall and are televised. The Planning Commission will first approve the consent agenda and then the regular agenda. In order to place certain non-controversial items on the Commission's consent agenda, Planning staff and the Planning Commission apply the following criteria. First, the request conforms with the SHAPE Sioux Falls 2040 Comprehensive Plan. Second, Planning staff recommends approval of the request. And third, there are no audience members present or written comments received in opposition to the request. By approving the consent agenda, the Commission is approving the items on consent. Therefore, upon approval of the agenda, those members of the public in attendance for those items are free to leave. For the regular agenda, the following normal public hearing procedure will be followed for each item, by first requesting planning staff to present a brief report on that item. Second, the petitioner or a representative will be requested to come forward to make a statement or answer questions. After the petitioner has spoken, anyone from the audience who wishes to address the agenda item shall be recognized. Then, the Planning Commission will discuss the matter further and take appropriate action. We ask that anyone addressing the Planning Commission move to the podium microphone and identify themselves for the record. Please limit your comments to less than 5 minutes. As a courtesy to everyone here tonight, we ask that you please either turn off or silence your electronic devices. This meeting is being televised on CityLink or is available at any time at siouxfalls.org. Thank you for your cooperation. Good evening and welcome to Carnegie Town Hall. I call this meeting of the Sioux Falls Planning Commission to order. I would like to emphasize a couple of items before we get started tonight. Out of courtesy for everyone, please silence all electronic devices at this time. We look forward to hearing your testimony tonight and appreciate all of you joining us. In an effort to have sufficient time to hear from audience members, we ask that when you come to the podium, please state your name and address for the record. Please also limit your comments to 5 minutes or less to allow us to hear from everyone here tonight that would like to speak. At this time, we will consider the consent agenda. Before we do, I'd like to announce that I have a conflict on one of the consent agenda items, item 2D, and therefore I will be passing the gavel over for the consent agenda over to Vice Chair Paulson.
Denise, can you read the consent agenda, please?
Yes, Mr. Vice Chair. Item 1 is the approval of the minutes. 1A is the Planning Commission briefing of Tuesday, November 30th, 2021. Item 1B is a Planning Commission meeting of Wednesday, December 1st, 2021. Item 2A, petition rezone 015535-2021, rezoning from the C3 Community Commercial District to the O Office District located at 7201 South Minnesota Avenue. Item 2B, petition rezone 015627-2021, rezoning from the C2 Neighborhood Commercial District to the RS Single Family Residential Suburban and the CN Conservation District located northeast of the intersection of East 6th Street and Veterans Parkway as shown by exhibit. Item 2C, petition rezone 015634-2021. Rezoning from the RA2 Residential Apartment Moderate Density District to the RS Single Family Residential Suburban and RD1 Twin Home Duplex Residential Suburban Districts located at 7300 East 41st Street. Item 2D, petition rezone 015655-2021. Rezoning from the C2 Commercial Neighborhood and Streetcar LW Live Work Districts to the C3 Commercial Community and C2 Commercial Neighborhood Districts located south of East 57th Street and east and west of South Ratliff Avenue. Item 2E, petition rezone 015656-2021, rezoning from the RT1 Single Family Residential Traditional District to the RT2 Townhome Residential Traditional District located at 736 South 1st Avenue. Item 2F, petition rezone 015686-2021, rezoning from the C2 Neighborhood Commercial District to the I1 Light Industrial District located at 5211 and 5217 North Healy Lane. Item 2G, petition rezone 015687-2021, rezoning from the C4 Regional Commercial District to the I1 Light Industrial District located at 2215 Northwest Port Avenue. Item 2H, rezone 015735-2021, rezoning from the RD2 Townhome Residential Suburban to the LW Live Work District located south of East 57th Street and west of South Dubuque Avenue. Item 2I, petition conditional use permit 015628-2021, conditional use permit for medical cannabis dispensary located within 500 to 1,000 feet of a sensitive land use located at 3613 West Avera Drive. Item 2J, petition conditional use permit 015691-2021, conditional use permit for medical cannabis dispensary located within 500 to 1,000 feet of a sensitive land use located at 3215 South Carolyn Avenue. Item 3, consent agenda approval.
Thank you, Denise. Is there anyone in attendance that would ask for the movement of a consent agenda item to the regular agenda?
Jason Bieber with Planning and Development Services. We did have a request to move item 2I to the regular agenda, and the applicants have arrived, so we can put that as normal, just the first item that we hear.
All right. So 2I would move to the first item. All right, anything else? Okay, we need a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Mr. Chair, I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
We need a motion then to make the amendment to the regular agenda, moving item 2I to the first item on the regular agenda.
Mr. Vice Chair, I make a motion to move item 2I to the regular agenda.
Second.
Second. Okay, we'll vote on the amendment then. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes. The consent agenda with amendment is approved.
So we vote on.
Anyone was here only for the consent agenda items, you're free to go.
We vote.
Okay, we need to go back and approve the consent agenda in its entirety. Is there a motion to that effect?
There's a motion already. Just need to vote.
Yeah, I think we have a little disagreement here on what order we're in. Kurt, is there anything else you wanted to say about that?
Mr. Vice Chair, at this point, I think we just need to vote on the amended consent agenda, or the vote to approve the consent agenda as amended.
Okay. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say no. Motion passes. Now we've got the consent agenda approved with amendment.
Thank you, Vice Chair Paulson. Next, we'll move on to the regular agenda. Can I get a motion to approve of the regular agenda, which will now include 2I?
So moved.
Seconded.
Motion second. All those in favor signify by saying yes.
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 All those opposed say no. The form of the regular agenda has been approved. Denise, please read the first item on the regular agenda.
Item 2I is petition, conditional use 015628, 2021, conditional use permit for a medical cannabis dispensary located within 500 to 1,000 feet of a sensitive land use located at 3613 West Avera Drive.
The applicant here is East River Farms, Cameron Young. It's located at the southwest corner of South Louise Avenue and West Avera Drive. The applicant is looking to do a medical cannabis dispensary in an existing strip mall at this location. The sensitive land use, as we know, it can, with between 500 and 1,000 feet, you can go for a conditional use permit in front of the Planning Commission. The sensitive land use that they're about 800 feet from the existing MB daycare, as you can see by the yellow star to the northeast. The proposed medical cannabis dispensary meets the requirements of the comprehensive plan. The proposed location is in a retail area. This is an existing strip mall. It's across the street from Willikers Liquor Store and then a bank also on the corner. The nearest sensitive land use, as I indicated, was over 800 feet away to the east. Further, the daycare is also separated from the cannabis establishment by a major arterial street in South Louise Avenue and also a large billion motor vehicle dealership. These two elements should provide that necessary buffering from the cannabis establishment to the sensitive land use to the northeast. Because the request does meet the intent of the zoning ordinance and the proposed cannabis establishment will be buffered from that sensitive land use, staff does recommend approval of this conditional use permit, and I'd be happy to answer any questions you may have.
Thank you, Jason. Commissioners, any questions for Jason on this item? None of this. Go ahead. Sorry,
Question.
Commissioner.
So Jason, we're just looking at basically location. Does this fit or? Is that
Correct.
what
We're looking at
here?
a location similar to what we do for on-sale alcohol, if it meets the buffering requirements and the separation distances
And all the security management plan and all that'll be taken care of by,
as part of the licensing procedure. Yep, correct.
okay, thank you.
Further questions, Commissioner? None at this time. Thank you, Jason. Cameron, could we get you up here tonight and tell us about the project? Could you please state your name for the record and tell us about the plan?
My name is Cameron Young, citizen of Sioux Falls, and I guess what we have planned here today, we were one of the lucky winners of the Sioux Falls lottery to open up a medical dispensary, and this was our location that we got approved for, and so as you can see, again, just across 69th Street and behind the car lot, that's where I guess MB lies, and it's over 800 feet away, and I guess we're just doing what we have to do, I guess, to keep moving forward.
Thank you, Cameron. Commissioners, any questions for Cameron?
Question. So just to get the location right, it's in between like Starbucks and that sandwich shop?
Correct, there's a Starbucks at the, there's Starbucks, then there's a Sweet Cakes, and then we would have the third unit, and the last unit would be Capriati's.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions?
Further questions? None at this time. Thank you, Cameron.
Thank you.
Members of the public, this is your opportunity to speak on this item. So if there's anybody from the public for or against, please come forward at this time. State your name for the record.
Good evening, folks. My name is Mike Elliott. I'm the Chief Medical Officer at Avera McKinnon Hospital. I'm here on behalf of the Avera Health System. You guys have a tough job. Just wanted to make sure that you were aware of a couple of things that were in relatively close proximity to the proposed cannabis distribution center. We have within reasonable walking distance of this proposed location our Avera Addiction Center and our Avera Behavioral Health Hospital, both of which partake in active treatment of folks suffering from addictions, including marijuana addiction. In addition, we have a pediatric and community research center, which does look at moms as well as babies that are exposed to potentially toxic substances within close location to this center. As Avera, we just wanted to make sure that you all were aware of that and that that was part of your consideration.
Thank you, Mike. Commissioners, any questions for Mike tonight?
Mr. Chair,
Yes.
just to clarify for the record, to access medical cannabis, you are required to have a prescription of sorts or an access card. Is that accurate?
Correct.
Very good. Thank you.
Further questions for Mike? None at this time. Thank you for coming tonight.
Thank you all.
Further public input on this item, if there's any, please come forward at this time. State your name for the record, please. Anybody? Seeing no further public input on this item, we'll close the floor to public input. I'll look for commissioner action on this item.
Mr. Chair, I'd like to make a motion to approve item 2I for the purposes of discussion.
Second.
A motion and a second. Commissioners, discussion on this item 2I tonight.
Mr. Chair, I'd like to thank the staff for, as they always do, doing such a good job of staging the materials for us to review on these items. I do feel, as Jason mentioned during his initial presentation, that the combination of Billion's facility plus Louise Avenue does provide a sufficient buffer, although they are just right inside that 1,000-foot ring. As far as the other facilities that were brought to the attention, I think that a medically prescribed process to allow people access to this material or to these products should be more than enough to handle whatever goes on, irregardless of proximity to other facilities in this area. So I'll be in favor of this.
Thank you, Commissioner. Further discussion on this item? If there's none, we'll take a vote on this item 2I. All those in favor signify by saying yes.
Yes.
All those opposed say no.
No.
That item has passed 4-1. Denise, please read the next item.
Item 5A, petition rezone 015482-2021, rezoning from the RS Single Family Residential Suburban and O Office Districts to the RA3 Apartment Residential High Density and CN Conservation Districts located at 2201 West Old Yankton Circle.
As we know, this application was deferred from last meeting for some additional discussion with the neighbors and some additional discussion on the height of the building. After those discussions have taken place, the applicant has decided to withdraw his application for this rezone.
Thank you, Jason. I know that it's a publicly noticed item, so I think we'll go through the process here. Applicant, I imagine, is not here. But we'll open the floor to public input. So anybody here for public input on this item 5A, please come forward at this time. Seeing none, we'll close the floor to public input. And can I get a motion to withdraw this item, please?
I'll make a motion to withdraw this item.
Second.
Motion to withdraw. Any further discussion on this, commissioners? All those in favor of withdrawing this item signify by saying yes.
Yes.
All those opposed say no. That has passed 5-0. Denise, please read the next item.
Item 5B, petition rezone 015101-2021, rezoning from the AG Agriculture District to the RS Single Family Residential Suburban, RD1 Twin Home Duplex Residential Suburban, RD2 Town Home Residential Suburban, and RA2 Apartment Residential Moderate Density Districts located south of West 41st Street and west of South Ellis Road.
Okay, this is an application put forward by Brady Hyde. The location is southeast of 41st Street and South Ellis Road. The purpose of this application is to rezone from agriculture to allow for the development of single and multifamily future residential. This rezoning is being done in conjunction with a preliminary subdivision plan, which is the next item on the agenda. And because this application is consistent with Sioux Falls Comprehensive Plan, staff is recommending approval of this rezoning.
Thank you, Kristen. Any questions, commissioners, for Kristen on this item?
Mr. Chair,
Yes.
Kristen, this looks like it's outside the city limits on the overall map, but is that just slightly outdated map? Is that the?
Let's see, is that out here? So city limits actually dips down just south of 41st Street to include this land.
Very good, thank you.
Thank you. Further questions for commissioners, or for Kristen, commissioners? None at this time. Thank you. Could I get the applicant up here, Brady? Would you come forward and tell us about the project?
Hello, Brady Hyde, 4615 South Tech Lake Circle. So just approximately 45-acre residential development that will consist of some apartments, single-family homes, townhomes, and twin homes. So.
Thank you, Brady. Commissioners, any questions for Brady on this item 5B? We'll get him up here again for the subliminary division plan. None of this time. Thanks, Brady. Anybody from the public here to speak on this item 5B, come forward at this time. Seeing none, we'll close the floor to public input. Look for commissioner action.
I'll make a motion for approval.
Second.
A motion and a second on the floor. Commissioners, further discussion on this item? All right. All those in favor of approving 5B, say yes.
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 All those opposed say no. Very good. That item has passed 5-0. Denise, please read the next item.
Item 5C, petition subdivision plan 015671 2021, preliminary subdivision plan for 41 Ellis Edition located south of West 41st Street and west of South Ellis Road.
Okay, this is the preliminary subdivision plan that is associated with the previous rezoning. Applicant is the same, location is obviously the same. Again, to allow for single family and multifamily residential. This preliminary plan may look, or location may look a little familiar to the commissioners. This location was heard for a preliminary plan, preliminary subdivision plan, I believe in October. The commission approved that unanimously. However, when that went to city councilors had concerns over the previous alignment of Ronsick Avenue. They believe that it should belong on the quarter section line. So this application today moves that alignment onto that quarter section line. And with the denial of that subdivision plan, the zoning was remanded back to us as well. So as you can see now, the new preliminary subdivision plan places Ronsick on the quarter section line. The other aspects of the updated plan remain similar to the previously approved plan. As only minor tasks remain for this application, staff recommends approval of this preliminary subdivision plan.
Thank you, Kristen. Commissioners, any questions for Kristen? None at this time. Brady, we'll pull you back up here. Let us know if there's anything you'd like to add about the preliminary subdivision plan.
Not necessarily any questions for me.
Commissioners, questions? None. Thank you, Brady. Let's open the floor to public input on this item. Anybody here for public input on this item 5C, come forward at this time. Seeing none, we'll close the floor to public input. I'll look for commissioner action.
Make a motion for approval.
Second.
A motion and a second. Commissioners, any further discussion on this item 5C? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying yes.
Yes.
All those opposed say no. That item has passed 5-0 as well. Denise, please read the next item.
Item 6, public input on non-agenda items, a 5-minute comment period per individual.
Members of the public, anybody here tonight to speak on non-agenda items, come forward, state your name for the record. You've got 5 minutes.
Emmett Rice Stroffer, I'll be quick. I was just here to kind of watch what's going on with the other cannabis applicants. I know you're all volunteers. Thank you for what you're doing. Tonight, I wanted to share a thought with you. I'm a big supporter of urban density. I grew up close to downtown. It's something I'm going to be working on in the next year. I support the mayor in his efforts to promote urban density and that type of development. You know, I work with folks that work and live downtown. I think we need more of it, and not just downtown, but the whole central core. So only sharing that with you as planning commissioners as you look at projects. I have nothing specific in mind tonight, but if you look at the rental market right now, I'm struggling to find a new place. There's a shortage. We need as much affordable housing options as we can get, and I think that's achieved mostly through urban density. So that was it. Just want to say I'm pro urban density. I grew up close to downtown. Some folks might not like big apartments coming up, but when you look at the market right now, we need them. And I'm just excited to see these developments move forward. That was it. Thank you.
Thanks, Emmett. Thanks for being involved. Thanks for coming tonight. Anybody else here that would like to address the commission? Seeing none, we'll close the floor to public input. Commissioners, any new business tonight? Seeing none, I'll look for a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor of adjournment, say yes.
Yes.
All those opposed, say no. We are adjourned.